it also alludes to the fact that I can go places and not be brought down, even with me deciding to keep my faith and my identity as a Muslim woman. Okay,
Okay.
so do you have a time when you felt seen and celebrated as a Muslim woman?
Mm,
1, 2, ready, go. Unveiled Voices. Okay.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Unveiled Voices. I'm Anifah. Um,
Welcome back to another episode of the Unveiled Voices. My name is Mariam. So today on the podcast, maybe first, thank you for listening to the last episode. It was our introduction to Add to Mike,
yeah,
and we were really glad to have talked through some of the replies that you have sent to us, and we really hope that we're able to in some way do justice to what you have sent, and may Almighty Allah continue to ease us. So Add
I
to
mean,
Mike is still something continuing, so feel free to always like reach out to us. We would probably have standalone episodes sometimes, or sometimes we would have where we'd read the messages we get in another
within
episode.
another
Yeah, within an
episode.
episode, but for sure it's an ongoing thing. So please feel free to continue to share
Yeah, I
with
was just
us.
going to say some people have shared stuff. We haven't talked about it
Yeah,
yet,
yeah, yeah,
but
for sure.
we'll definitely
Mm-hmm.
get to them. As you said, like
Yeah,
some of it will
be
warrant
standalone.
standalone.
Mm-hmm.
Some of it will maybe will tack on to the end
Yeah.
of like maybe something we've been meaning to talk about
Mm-hmm.
anyway. So yeah, keep sharing.
Yeah, and today is a bit of a girly Muslima one. So today we'll be discussing Muslim girl joy. Basically what is sparking you joy, and it's just going to be a bit of very fun interactive episode.
Mhm.
We'll have like some series of questions. Would really appreciate if we also get you guys to participate on it. We know it's not real time now, but when you see the episode, feel free to share your own replies in the comment section. We really want to hear about it. But before we go into it, do you want to maybe share a bit of why we're doing this episode, as much as is very lightweight, funny, and all of that?
Yeah, I think Yorubas have a saying that is when someone is joking that like
Yeah, the truth.
the truth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I think even though this topic is meant to be light-hearted, what drove us, wanting to talk about it is far from that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there is a perception the world has of Muslim women, which is, oppressed. There's a lot of conversation around the hijab,
Yeah.
which I don't want to go into, but TLDR is that this is how, our creator, according to our belief, has asked us to dress. So it's not particularly because of any man or anything. Let's dead that now. But circling back, it's the perception that is there publicly
Mm-hmm.
generally that alarmingly even a lot of Muslim women key into.
Yeah.
So a lot of us have forgotten how to have fun.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of us think having fun is not serious business, so we
Mm-hmm.
shouldn't be doing it. A lot of us don't even know what fun is anymore,
Mm-hmm.
right? So this is an episode to even ourselves as a reminder because life can get really serious,
Mm-hmm.
right? Um, to stop
Yeah.
and take in what makes us happy. Even try to identify what makes us happy. So I would say that was the reasoning behind. I don't know if I've missed anything.
Yeah. No, I mean, from my own point, it should be like, as much as in this life we'll always face challenges, but
Hmm.
it shouldn't be all about the struggles.
Yeah.
Like, life is all about finding joy, even
Hmm.
in the littlest of things. Um,
Even allow us
yeah,
to
to enjoy.
enjoy. He has
Yeah,
put so
yeah,
much
yeah.
on this earth,
Yeah, asked
right?
us to go out, touch grass,
Yeah.
see Allah's creation, and find joys, and make sure you keep finding joy in the things you are doing and all of that.
I'm also going to say one thing. I think oh, some of the causes, because I know we're not,
Mm-hmm.
our intention is not to talk about it, we just want to
Yeah.
have fun, is that a lot of people associate haram with fun.
Oh, yeah.
So even us, we've forgotten that actually outside of all these things,
Yeah.
some of these things, social media did not exist. Are you saying
They didn't live
hundreds
their
of years
life.
they were not happy,
Mm-hmm.
they were not being creative, they were
Mm-hmm.
not doing things that
Yeah.
gave them joy? No.
Yeah.
So I think, remember, fun is not synonymous to
Yeah.
haram,
Yeah.
or fun is not synonymous to what is frowned upon.
Fun. Yeah.
Some things are not explicitly haram, but it's not encouraged.
Yeah.
So let's do it.
No, I mean, so yeah, like again, find joy, touch grass, be happy. And that's what we want to do. So this first segment would be a tell me a time when da 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 da. Da. So we'll go. Maybe do you want to go first?
No,
Go.
it's fine. Go
Okay.
first.
So do you have a time when you felt seen and celebrated as a Muslim woman? I think I can go. Maybe not necessarily me, but I kind of like when we have like our little gatherings and we are all like talking
Yeah.
and we talk about like different range of topics. We talk about career, we talk about family, we talk about kids, we talk about faith. And it's just always interesting to see like those conversations that we're having amongst ourselves. And to your point on how like society have like this view of who a Muslim woman is, but being in that gathering of well accomplished women, you have software developers, you have finance people, you have people making it in
I feel like you just described it.
people making it in entrepreneurship, and you have people making it as like full-time moms and like doing awesome things in life. So I think that gathering is always like, okay, yeah, yes, girl, we're doing this, and like society, you guys should just take a chill pill. But Muslim women are awesome for sure. So I
Yeah.
think that's one of the
Yeah, so maybe not personal to us,
yeah,
but
yeah,
more
yeah.
like as the world is becoming more connected
Yeah.
in our closest
Little,
circles and even on like social media, we're seeing examples of women that are doing stuff
Yeah.
that
yeah, like yes,
Yeah.
this is
So now more than ever, there's enough evidence out there of, people that look like us, people that dress like us, people that are Muslims, being successful, still living, according to this code.
yeah.
And
And not compromising on their faith.
yeah,
Like I remember when we did the Unveiled Voices, what's it called?
mini
The
launch.
mini launch.
We
Yeah,
should do
and
a Nigerian one.
yeah, we're like people should dress as rich aunties, and people like the
They
vibe.
turned
The
off
vibe check was awesome. Like
Yeah.
people dressed in their modest attires and looking good and looking
We
nice.
actually made a video of people walking in.
exactly.
It was
Yeah,
so
yeah.
nice.
So that was really good. I mean, the idea of Muslim woman sometimes in social media is somebody dressed, tattered, not looking good, looking malnourished, and all of that. But like seeing people,
Malnourished, what?
have you seen what is online? All of that, but I mean, just seeing people look really good. That was.
I
Really
think
good.
people always forget that we are humans
Yeah.
in some way, because with that bit you said about being malnourished, I can point to many different parts of the world that may not even be necessarily
Muslim
Muslim
countries.
Do you
Yeah.
understand? So yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so let's go. Do you want to take the next one?
Tell me about a time when wearing the hijab made you feel powerful.
Yeah, I think it's probably mostly at work when maybe like in circumstances where I'm the only maybe even woman in that gathering, and
Story of my life.
yeah, and I'm like, okay, I'm not here because they're like they want to do DEI, even though some companies do DEI and all of that. I'm here
Are
because
companies still doing DEI? I think Trump.
French already did that. But yeah, I'm here because they value what and who Mariam is, and I think that's very good. It also alludes to the fact that I can go places and not be brought down, even if I decide to. Even with me deciding to keep my faith and my identity as a Muslim woman, so I think that gives a level of power to me as a
You feel
person.
like
Yeah, I'm like, yes, I can literally aim for the moon, and I'm going to be fine.
Do you know what? It makes me happy that when people see me, they already know some things are off limits. Like I don't need to explain too much that I don't drink alcohol.
Yep.
Most people know that by dressing this way, I'm Muslim.
Oh my god!
And if I'm serious enough to do,
so I have one story. So anytime we go for events like that, again, my colleagues are Europeans and all of that, so mixed and all of that. So anytime we go for events, what I always try to do is I don't, again, not to do any explanation because I owe nobody any explanation.
Absolutely,
on why
there are people that don't even.
Yeah, exactly. So most times if they didn't explicitly ask for like food options or preferences, I just go with the vegetarians, right? Like I go with whatever the
Yeah, as
vegetarians
long
are
as
having.
there's veggie,
Like yeah,
I'm good.
exactly. Yeah, to be safe and all of that. But when I moved to my team, there was a semi-vegetarian on the team. So this person called vegetarian, but
They
if they
eat
want to do,
once
they
in a
do.
while.
Yeah,
They
they do meat and all of that. So I remember that day I was like, okay, this person is a vegetarian, so obviously whatever this person is
we eat
having
the same
is
food.
fine. And then this person picks whatever it is they are picking, and I just like,
You
okay,
two
yeah.
were like safe.
And as I was like going to pick it, this
So
was
I was
like, oh no, Mariam, don't take this. This has pork. And I'm
oh my
like,
god,
okay, yeah.
amazing.
So
They know.
they know, like as a Muslim, yeah, I'm not supposed to be eating pork. And I'm like, oh yeah, thank you very much. I was just like going with what vegetarian I was
Amazing.
going
I,
with.
I
So.
I think that is such a good story in that when you show up as visibly Muslim, and this one is very unique to women particularly
Yeah,
because
we
I
are
think
the most visible ones.
exactly you can
Men
see a
can
guy
go,
and
and
he
you're not
can
really sure.
literally exactly so it's a struggle unique to us in that every time people think of it more as we've alluded to before and talked about like oh why do you have to do this, why do you have to dress this way, but actually there are some perks that comes with being
Being
that
a
way.
visible
Nobody
Muslim.
is going to say you should come and drink.
Or you should
No,
go,
but
you should
there are
go.
even some gatherings or in fact for me like they ask me, oh, this is where we're thinking of
Are
going.
you
What do
comfortable?
I think? Or they've even already pre-screened things because me, I even have a problem with why are you asking me? Does this
Yeah.
and so it's like it automatically removes some things that shouldn't even be in your bearing away from you. So that actually makes me feel really powerful.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So let's go on to the next one. Tell me a time when a stranger kindness gave you joy.
The wedding we attended recently, I did not know the person,
Yeah.
but they were very instrumental in helping us to get some extra things to take home. Let me put it that way. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was good too because it was our first Nigerian wedding in the UK, so we're
Yeah.
not familiar with how things were, and we literally just met this person on that day, and they were like super caring and like, oh, let me get this, let me get
Quite
that.
nice.
Quite
Yeah.
nice. Yeah, so yeah, I think that was also good too. I think yeah, that would be my answer, at least my most recent
Yeah.
answer too. So that's good. So yeah, let's your own tell me a time when went to all of the prompts we just shared. So yeah, like feel free to reply to us in the
You know,
DMs.
something's coming to my mind.
Yeah.
Everything we've said, apart from the one where like hijab made you powerful, it's not particularly because
Muslim woman. Just, yeah.
So this is also a sort of reminder that if it's not haram, if it's not discouraged,
yeah, fine.
you're good. Partake in it.
Find joy again in the little of things.
Yeah.
So this next segment is never have I ever.
Where did this never have I ever come
There's
from?
a Netflix show, and
Have
I
you
think
seen it?
Yeah, I think I saw season 1 of
I've
it.
never watched it.
And I think they are like games. People do games in house parties of never have I ever.
Okay, this is another fun thing.
Yeah. So never have I
Next
ever.
hangout.
We do. Okay, so first one. Never have I ever eaten sahur with friends and laughed until Fajr. So you raise up your hand if you've never done it. And then, okay. So never have I eaten sahur with friends and laughed until Fajr. Yeah, I have.
How come?
So, when I was in Dubai, I had a friend who is Moroccan, and I hadn't been to Morocco at the time, but I had eaten Moroccan cuisines.
By the way, I like
really good
Moroccan
tea.
The breakfast.
Oh,
amazing.
Yeah, their breakfast
mint
spread
tea.
is really good. Yeah, with the mint tea and then the tangine. Though when you eat tangine to a point, you get tired of it.
My husband has beef with tangine.
So yeah, I think we had gone for Moroccan brunch before, and then when it was during Ramadan, so we had Moroccan dinner. Yeah, that was where we started. Then she was like, oh, because I was just raving around, oh my god, I love Moroccan food and all that. And she was like, ah yeah, there are like a couple of places and even other like countries or nationalities cuisine that she wanted me to try. So I think that night we went for Moroccan, we had Tunisian, we had.
How did you fit all of this in?
Into
That's my question.
Dubai is 30 minutes to everywhere. Like once you have a car in Dubai.
I mean, fit the food.
Oh yeah, so yeah, I think we're not like really eating much.
So
But just
like
for the experiences. Yeah. So we're three. Yeah. So then we went. And
Is it a common thing
in Dubai.
for people to hop around like that
Yeah.
during Ramadan? For
Oh yeah. I
amazing.
think maybe one day we'll talk about the Arab, the difference between um from Arab, so difference between culture and Islam basically. There are still definitely some bits of Arab culture, not necessarily Islamic culture. For some Arabs, it's just like a normal festival or gathering.
So
for
they kind of
them.
just treat it as
Like you see,
eat all you can.
people do sound parties and all of that. So
Oh my god, I can't imagine it.
yeah, exactly. So yeah, but that experience was really good because we are literally like restaurant open and all that. Don't worry, I'll take you for sour. Okay. So never have I walked into a room with my and my abaya got caught on something embarrassing.
I can't raise my hand
I
up.
think
I don't even think it has to necessarily be a room. Maybe it could be running up the stairs and
escalator.
you're wearing this really long gown.
Or maybe it's the door and then you want to close
I
the
think
door.
for this one, maybe most people would have.
Yeah.
It's a common one.
Yeah. Maybe also touching on the part of probably like maybe this is a controversial thing.
Which one?
What exactly is modest dressing? Well, not necessarily controversial. To be honest, if we're all being serious, we all know what is the correct thing. But
Do we?
I think we all do.
Okay, so we're just being.
I just mean everybody's just doing what it is they want to do. But I mean that's like the ultimate one. Um, Never have I ever been stopped and complimented on my hijab. I think when Muslim women, when they look good and they show up.
Yeah, so I've had both. I've had both.
Oh,
both like complimenting.
And you complimenting someone. Oh, okay.
I'm. By the way, I'm not a very. I don't think I'm the kind of person that fans out over people.
No.
So for me to have seen that person and complimented them, I can't remember now what they were wearing, but it must have been yeah. So
maybe not necessarily hijab, but maybe
the whole
their being or how they appear as Muslims. Yeah, I'm like, yeah, exactly. Like, oh my god, I think I can be a fangirl when I want to be a fangirl.
Yeah. So shout out to everyone
that are fangirled.
that have been the fangirl.
Yeah. So let us know your never ever ever question answers to all of the ones we've talked about.
Please focus on the ones that you should actually never have ever. Don't tell me never have you fasted that. But you people don't bring the one that you should have done.
Yeah. Okay, so do you want to take the next segment?
Yeah, we can talk about like the next one is joy in the everyday.
We should.
I feel like I resonate with this more.
Let's find something that sparks joy for you.
Yeah, so for example, for me, there are a few things I like to do. I like to read.
Oh, yeah.
I'm beginning to like tea. Yeah. So for me, like the weekends or even when I'm coming back from work, sometimes you find me reading a book. Doesn't necessarily have to be Islamic. It's good if it's you learning more about the thing, which is something I'm also starting to enjoy. Even like engaging with the Quran more. So sometimes you find me when I'm trying to sleep or trying to wind down, I'm actually just focused on a specific surah, wanting to understand what were the words, what was Allah really, what were the circumstances around this revelation. I think one of my recent favorites is Surah Al-Mariam. I think if you haven't read or engage with the tafsir of that, you should, because it's just so encompassing, right?
Even the sequence of the stories,
yes, and how Mariam radiallahu anhu was very special, and it didn't start from her.
Yeah, it didn't start from her for sure.
Anyway, back to what we're saying, like engaging with the Quran with an intent to understand what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala was trying to pass across with this surah, with this verse. Reading, and it could be fiction, it could be non-fiction. We've given some examples. One of the things I want to read, one of the books I want to read is, I think, the Barakah effect or something.
Oh yeah.
So hostile, but not the typical capitalism. Also, so I feel like for me, those are like the moments where even just sorry to people that are not married. I'm about to stop for
Wow.
just like literally
Spending quality time.
coming back from work and maybe my husband picks me up
Aww.
and we're just like, oh, how was your day? How was your day? And we're talking about work this or this person this. There's so much joy in doing that.
Yeah.
Those will be some of the things for me. What about yourself?
So I 100% relate and echo everything you said, and I also feel maybe there's joy in also being able to say fulfill stuffs. So in the sense that probably like our parents, for instance, being able to take care of them in a way that you grew up wanting to take care of them.
What do you mean?
So for some of us, we grew up saying, "Oh my god, if I get rich or if I start working, I want to do X, Y, Z for my parents." And then now you've been, I'm not rich, oh, please, I but now being in that position to be able to actually actualize those things and seeing those things come to life, and it's not necessarily seeing those things come to life, but seeing it's basically like a reverse role, right? You grew up saying, "Mommy, I want this," and then providing to you, and then you go, "Thank you, mommy," and all of that. But now, them, you knowing they want this, and you providing that thing for them, and then coming to you and saying, "Thank you very much, my daughter," and all of that. I actually
find prayers that.
Oh my god! Yeah, I actually find joy in that because it could even be the little of things. My mom was telling me she wanted one particular lace or something for it, and she was sending me the styles and all of that. And I was just like, "Yeah, I'm gonna do it." And then when she gave her tailor, she just sent me voice note. Oh yeah, she has already sent her, and she was all giggling like some like
I love this point you just made. Oh my god,
giggling about like, oh, like she's so excited. She has already given her tailor her clothes. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah, like it's not that big of it. Oh my god, this is such a good point. And to condense it down, what you said is basically finding joy from bringing joy to others.
Yeah.
Such a huge one.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
And it doesn't even have to end at our parents. Like it could be an orphan, which I think the prophet even recommended.
Yeah.
And anything is not even money. Even making someone smile. Like I say something funny, of course not obscene, funny, and you laugh, or maybe you were not in such a great mood and I managed to cheer you up. It's such a
yeah.
And everybody is happy.
Yeah.
Because you
made me
that
laugh.
person, so I really like that point.
Yeah.
It's such a good
one. I probably even I think for me I like traveling as well. Almighty Allah even said it in the Quran.
We've done a travel.
Yeah, like
we should plug that episode.
So yeah, like go out and see the creations of Allah. I definitely 100% love traveling. It gives me joy.
Why do I feel like all of our joy? It's kind of.
I was going to come to non-money. Is that what you?
Not even just money, more like even
materialistic.
No, like the status as well. So let me give you an example. When I was in uni, because again, people younger than us are listening. I didn't have any money. In fact, the first time I traveled was
when you went for work.
Not even kind of something related to an interview, right? So, what about people?
So finding joy, to your point on like the summary you said on finding joy, which from giving joy, I personally find joy when we come together and when we hang out. I find joy.
So being the friend that also
I find joy when we're talking on our group chats and we're just like discussing. We're just yapping and we're just discussing all sorts of things. So yeah.
Not gossip.
we're discussing all sorts of things. So I find joy in that. So it could be finding joy in my friendships, finding joy in my family, having quality time with my family.
It's not spoken about enough as well, but volunteering.
Oh yeah.
So when I was I think towards the end of my time in uni, there was this organization, Tech Quest or something. And I remember signing up maybe to kind of teach tutors that would then teach like kids how to use Scratch or something like that. Maybe like coordinating. And I really enjoyed it because...
You also did the code girls.
That was it. So I'm trying to even talk about people in hijab. But yeah, in fact, there are numerous examples. It doesn't have to be like Islamic events.
Yeah. Giving back to the community.
If you want to volunteer for Islamic events, fine.
Yeah.
Better. If you want to volunteer for I'm in tech, so maybe there's a tech event, be one of the people that signs people in, or you are giving a talk. Like, think of, for lack of a better way to put it, acts of service that you find joy in as well, as opposed to just waiting for joy to happen to you, happen for others, and see how you kind of,
Yeah.
yeah.
Maybe we should actually think of one, maybe like the Unveiled podcast, something, maybe career series or something. We can
Career
circle.
series in what
Maybe
way?
like giving back, maybe like inviting people
So
to
you think
share.
we have enough to talk, eh?
You don't clock half a decade, no.
Kinda, yeah.
Yeah, so but
But
yeah,
how about time now?
I know, right?
But you feel we
We'll
have we
circle, we'll
have
circle
we
back
have
on that.
substance.
We'll circle back on that.
No worries.
But yeah, like again, summary of everything is we need to find joy in simplicity and routine. Like make every day count because very soon.
I know it's controversial. It might not be me as well, but I know some people, they say they like to feed people.
Oh yeah.
So
Some people
if that's
take
your
joy.
feed me,
Yeah, they
I'll
take
eat.
joy. They take joy in hosting people. I
Yeah.
actually like it when people come around our place. It's always good to have people around.
Okay.
No, there's that thought. Okay, yeah. So find joy in everything. I would also want to know from you, our audience, what are the things, what are the moments that are
Everyday
bringing
moments
you,
that,
that are
yeah,
bringing you joy? Share. Do
as
feel
a
free to
Muslim
share
woman,
with
yeah,
us.
or as anybody, if you want
Yeah.
to share with us.
I don't know if you have any other thing to say.
Don't do this to me.
No, like, do you have any, maybe like from the segments we've
In
done
terms
on
of the
sharing
joy,
joy? Yeah, yeah,
not particularly.
yeah. So yeah, I think maybe just a reflection on what we've all said on we need to find joy from within and also from externally, lean into community, very important, sisterhood as well.
Create community if you
Create,
don't have one.
and don't be the friend that is always waiting for people to plan
Please,
things.
please.
You to also plan. I think that's where we fall short as a people. We are always waiting for people to do the ad work, quote and
Yeah.
unquote, and we just want to come. But like, even if you don't maybe like have the capability or resources to host people, like in terms,
Suggest.
yeah, like suggest, or even maybe like even do potluck or something. Like you don't
People should
necessarily have
bring
to
their food,
provide
yeah.
all the food. And I think it's even we Africans that we overthink the idea of hangout because we go all the way to say want to make jollof rice, want to make puff puff. If you go to European hangout, it's just like crackers and everything.
Don't get us wrong.
Yeah,
There's a time for that.
exactly, but this time, like, it doesn't have to be super deep or
And
like,
innocent,
yeah.
yeah.
Your friends that are coming again, it shouldn't be for the food that they are coming. Like, why
Yeah.
can't I just go to my friend's place to
Play around with
chill out?
extracurriculars as well. You can learn how to swim, learn
Yeah.
how to ride, but at least
Jab to me.
walk.
I need to learn how to.
So
swim
for
this
me,
year.
like, I think one of the things that I really like about the UK is that in most places that are residential,
Yeah.
you have like walkable
Oh
paths,
yeah.
nature. I don't know the advice to give people in Nigeria. I think there will still be some places where you
Yeah.
can walk, but I particularly have been loving like walking a
I was
lot.
going to say this. I was going to say the one where I told you that I've been doing this thing of where noticing my environment.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So I started this thing where because anytime I'm going to work, it's just like straight. My brain is just wired to say, okay, Mariam legs, you need to move and get me to the office, and I'm just on autopilot and I'm just going. But of late, I've started to make myself conscious of my environment. So like noticing people that are moving around me, noticing buildings and all of that. And I've actually quite found it helpful. There was one I did of where I was trying to like just see somebody and just be like, okay, what could this person's
What's
story
their
be?
backstory?
Yeah, what's their backstory? And it was actually a very fun game for myself.
Do you feel
that
like
day.
you have an active imagination?
I do. Oh,
by the way, like I think another thing we didn't touch on, sorry to cut you, is that I think there are a lot of sisters that are creative, not particularly in a physical way, but in using their words.
Yeah.
So what made me like what connected that for me was when you said like you're trying to create
big backstories.
You should write stories, create Substack.
Yeah.
Still saying it.
Yeah.
You know, some
Stuff to make money off Substack.
Create Substack. Like there are sisters that they are just gifted in talking.
Yeah.
in
The
saying things
words,
that
weaving
resonate with the
words.
heart. So if that's you, do it. Explore. Okay, you don't know if that's you. Sign up for a writing class.
Yeah.
Do something. Here in the UK and some other countries, you can even do things like archery, what's it called?
Us right.
Clay making,
Yeah.
something like all those. I think there will be some version of that
Yeah, no, there
everywhere.
is. I think last weekend, Soul Unraveled, Chai was Soul Unraveled, they had this like Saturday package where they
Mhm.
did morning a la carte, they did us riding. I think they do hiking sometimes as well. That's a very good community
So
to
so
key into as well.
yeah,
Yeah.
so that's a good example.
Yeah.
But like if you're a broke student,
Mm.
like some of us were a few years
There's
ago.
mount in Ife, there's mountaineering. There's
Oh, there are
mountains. Yeah,
mountains in Ife.
yeah,
Oh my
yeah.
god.
There are mountains in Ife.
I never really
Oh
traveled
yeah, there are
Nigeria.
mountains in Ife. You can go mountaineering
So
in
I
Ife.
feel like we spend a lot of time inwards. Like
Mm-hmm.
I suspect a lot of our podcast listeners are also like that.
Mm-hmm.
So make a conscious effort to
Go out and touch
expand
grass.
your consciousness in a joyful way. So
Yeah,
don't force yourself to like something you don't like. If you
yeah,
do
for
it,
sure.
you don't enjoy it, ditch it, try another
Try
thing.
another thing.
But that attitude of being open, finding time to
Mm-hmm.
enjoy those moments, discovering what you like, very important.
Yeah, yeah. So find joy in the
So your
little
backstory,
things.
what's the funniest one you've come up with?
Don't let me say it on camera.
Yeah. So it's not
No, it was
it's not PG.
no, it was just me looking at that person and I'm like, oh, okay, I think this would be your backstory. So
Okay.
I saw someone old, I saw someone young, I saw different nationalities. I'm like, okay, yeah, this could probably be your
Mm.
backstory. So yeah, that was a really fun exercise
Mm-hmm.
to do. So, again, joy is very important and very valid. As a Muslim woman, you need to be happy with
Do
yourself
you know
before
one
you
thing
can.
I've done that I don't think falls into any of this
Mhm.
that actually sparked joy for me?
Mhm.
So if you've heard me talk a couple of times, you already know I'm a big believer in dua.
Yeah.
Since when I was young, actually, I have strong evidence that
Adra.
dua works.
Yeah.
So you cannot tell me nothing. Anyway, I think there was a time like earlier this year, or maybe towards the end of last year, where I wasn't feeling very joyful.
Hmm.
Mm. And what I did was I wrote some of my duas down.
Hmm.
A lot of it was themed around, Ya Allah, make me see the joy.
Hmm.
Let me be lightweight. I don't want to feel heavy. Like
Hmm.
I should have wrote. You can probably tell that I'm someone that again I'm in my head a lot. So I wrote everything,
Mhm.
and that could have been the end of it. But we're in a world of AI now.
Texas.
Maybe I think people are not even flogging AI
They
and
don't
using it the
maximize.
way. Like I'm talking to people in school and you don't know what ChatGPT is. You don't know. You have
Yeah.
guys.
Good
Anyway,
one.
I fed this like 2 pages of duas, like
Mhm.
lightweight things, me requesting from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala what I wanted. And I created like a voice. I'm trying to remember the AI I
I
used
think you
here.
said Notion.
No,
Or was
11,
it? Oh,
11,
okay.
11 labs or some.
Mhm.
There's an AI where you can put in the words, and,
Mhm.
and I use like a Nigerian person's voice.
So
I was very particular about that. I wanted to
you have
sound
to hear in your favor.
and let me tell you, I saved that on my phone and I would just listen to it while walking, while writing. And
Mm,
it's not the typical thing of maybe music, something that is
yeah, ding, ding, ding,
distracting you.
ding,
It was
yeah.
just on really low volume. And in a week,
It was playing the
it
beat.
was like something just rewired in my head. And I
Mm,
was like, oh, yes, the sun is shining today.
nice.
And again, it just goes to show that there are different ways you can find joy. I think I even shared it with one of my friends.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, oh my God, this is such a good idea. I don't know if she still listens to it, but again, different things can make you happy.
Yeah.
Explore it.
So yeah, like just find what works for you
Mm-hmm.
and find joy in
Mm-hmm.
everything. So again, like we said, feel free to share with us your joyful moments, even if you have answers to the questions you shared we mentioned on the podcast, the
Something just occurred to
segments.
me
Mm-hmm.
again. I realized a lot of the things we said was centered around doing things.
Mm-hmm.
Your joy can be sparked by just relaxing. after
Take
a very long
take that
period
sleep.
of like sleep.
Take that sleep.
If you have the money, go and do facial. If you have the money,
Go for spa.
yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know, take a long bath. Like if you
Yeah.
have a bathtub, okay, you don't have bathtub, shower, make the water a bit warmer.
Yeah. Make it calming. Yeah.
Just create a calm environment,
Mm-hmm.
even in the midst of chaos. And you find that when you even come out of it and you're like, actually, today is a good day
Yeah. Like I
just
just needed the
because you
water.
slept for 8 hours.
Yeah.
Or just because instead of 1 a.m. that you're always sleeping,
You
you slept
slept
at
earlier.
10. So please, there is joy in
Relax.
relaxation too.
Relax.
Everything is not work. This life will not come here to work. So please, my ladies, everybody else, may Allah make it easy for us.
I
Please go
mean,
ahead with your wrap up.
no, yeah. So there's this quote I saw. I think when I was in second year uni, and I've
Wow, so
actually
you've been on this for a
yeah
long
I've been on
time.
this for a long time. So and I think if you probably see most of my social media bios, maybe at some point or the other, I've put this in my bios.
So your bio is like
Wait,
soft.
soft
I
girl.
feel like my own is like a battle.
So the quote is chasing happiness.
Mhm.
Every other thing is a bonus. And the way I interpreted that is if you put your happiness at the forefront of everything, every other thing just comes on top of it as a bonus.
Mhm.
So you want to be happy in your career. You find yourself not gravitating towards career paths that would be do or die and
Choke.
yeah, like so you
By all means.
by all means, like I remember when I did overnight and I was following peer pressure to take course.
Oh my god, I have the same story.
I'm
Why do you think we did that?
never
Did you think we did that?
exactly never ever again. So at the forefront of everything is what happiness this would bring for me. So that's a very quote that I have had over the years and I've sort of lived by. And there's also another quote of joy is a form of resistance, healing, and faith, especially
Resistance to what?
to everything. Especially when the world tells us otherwise.
So you feel like the world doesn't want us to be happy?
There's so much challenges in this life.
Mm.
There's so much basketball in this life. So yeah. So till we come your way again, do
Yeah.
not forget to keep sharing, liking.
Share your joyful moments
Yeah,
with
for
us.
sure. We want to
Muslim girl
hear.
joy or just joy.
Yeah, we want to hear from you. All right, bye. Assalamu alaikum.